All right, guys, let's chat because I am feeling like I have not taken advantage of my time at home like others have, and I just want to talk about what is happening. Every time I open up Instagram or Facebook or whatever, I see, like, at first I saw sourdough everything, or like fermented things. Like, everybody was taking advantage of this time and learning new skills. And then I saw that like whipped coffee thing, and I wasn't really super interested in that. That texture freaked me out a little bit. And now everybody's washing their washing machines. That's like the new thing that I'm seeing on my feed. Like, everybody's washing out their washing machines, and I'm like, you know what? No, I'm drawing the line there. Like, why are we all becoming the best versions of ourselves? I have kicked it into neutral, and I am like learning no new skills or doing anything productive. So what I want to talk about today are my stay-at-home favorites, the things that I have found myself doing most often since we've been at home, or enjoying most often. And if you're looking for a video to make you not feel like a failure, this is the one, because none of it is gold. It's just the random stuff I found myself doing and really enjoying over the last few weeks. So let me know in the comments below what you guys have been up to. Give this video a thumbs up. That's super helpful to me when you do so. And let's get into it. First things first, initially I found myself using a lot of boxed cake mixes, which I'm normally a homemade girl all the way. And something about everything that was going on, I just wanted to make box mix cakes with my kids. And maybe it's because that was my childhood and the things I did with my mom and my, grandma. So it made me feel like I really wanted to do that. I don't know, maybe it was just the ease of it. I'm not sure, but my kids loved that. And well, and I usually don't like the taste of box mix cakes, except rainbow chip cake with rainbow chip icing. What the heck? That is so good. I had so much of that. Like, I got it on my Walmart order, the first 3 orders I did, back in March and April. I could not get enough of that. My kids didn't even love it, but I did. So I've been making that, not sourdough. John and I also, and this is almost embarrassing because I didn't really think about the content there. It's definitely not appropriate to have around kids. But we don't really binge watch a lot of things. The only show we've ever binged is Longmire, and we started watching that when we were on our ski trip, just as a way to unwind in the evenings, and we never watched more than 1 episode at a time. So binging for us is watching 1 episode every couple days, because you don't have to wait a whole week to see the next one. So for us, that's binge watching. So that was in January. It's now the end of April, or May, maybe by the time this is up, and we are almost finished with it. And we really liked it at first, and now that we're getting toward the end, we're like, oh my gosh, can we just finish up these characters? So but we've really enjoyed that. But the first thing we've ever actually binged in our lives, which is really embarrassing for being full-grown adults, is Outer Banks. It's so good. I think it's because we live in a beach town, and so watching this is so much like my high school experience here. So I'm familiar with that, but it is like a teeny bopper show. I'm like, what are we watching? But we are so invested in this show, except I'm such a mom when I watch it, because obviously there's fist fighting and things like that. And I was so embarrassed once. I had to tell John to turn it off for a little bit because my neck got so hot, and I've never broken out in hives before, but the fist fighting made me as a mom, oh my gosh, they need to stop this. So I was super hot neck, and I had to turn the show off. Actually, I didn't turn it off. We both got on our phones and we're just scrolling on Instagram or whatever while the show was playing, because we couldn't handle it. But the storyline, there's so much more I want to say about it, but it would give away exactly where we live. The storyline is so familiar to us with the area of Florida that we live in. And it just was really, really fun to watch. We were just sucked into the story, and it was so suspenseful. So, but also fist fights, paraphernalia, inappropriate content, which made me kind of ugh, as a mom watching teenagers behave certain ways, not for kids. On On a lighter note, good positive things that I've been binge watching are Sonia Schaefer's videos on the Simply Charlotte Mason YouTube page. I cannot get enough of those. I'm like watching every single video from the last few years that I've missed. I think it's a time of year too. It's the end of the school year, kind of starting to think about next school year, just like, you know, hanging with my girl Sonia. Just kidding. I just really love her, and I want to like actually be in her presence and sit under her because I think she's amazing, and her videos are very calming to me and never make me feel like I need to do more. Even if they challenge me to do something, they also make me feel like I'm doing okay. So I really love her videos. During this time, I've also kind of enjoyed certain things one-on-one with my kids, and I had to think about what those things were because they haven't been intentional, but I've just enjoyed more time with them because we're not busy. So for Bella, we've been watching hair tutorials and like learning how to do different hairstyles on ourselves, on each other. That's been sweet. It's been sweet to have her growing up. Annie has loved to bake, and I never would have really realized that she wanted so badly to be in the kitchen, but if you ask her what she wants to be when she grows up, right now she's 3, she'll say a cooker, which is so cute. And then you'll say, oh, what do you want to cook? She'll say cookies, a cooker of cookies. So she wants to be a baker at 3. We have had some fails because, you know, she's very also Miss Independent and doesn't want me to help. And so specifically there was this one, we were making cake pops because she loves Starbucks cake pops. That's our post ballet class tradition, which obviously we're not doing right now. So we haven't had cake pop in a couple months around here. And so we were making cake pops, and you have to kind of work quickly. You have to dip them in the candy melt or the white chocolate and put them down pretty fast. And she just was moving slow. And I could tell she was getting frustrated because they were falling apart in there, or, you know, things because we had froze them first or like put them in the fridge. They were cold, and so it was making the candy start to clump up. So I just quickly like took spoonfuls of the chocolate and set them down on the pan on like the wax paper and had her stick the little cake pop ball with the stick on top of them. And I said, Annie, we're making cake plops. And it was so funny. So when she was passing them out, they were like, oh, did you make cake pops? She was like, no, they're cake plops. And it was just so funny. So we'll have to attempt cake pops again when she's a little older and can work a little faster. But we have had a few fails. Eli just loves reading. He feels like so much confidence right now. If you saw my video maybe last week, I'm not sure when I'm putting this one up, I put up a read with me, and you'll just see like he is all about showing off his reading skills right now. So he wants to read everything to me right now. So that's been sweet. And then Jessie has really been growing up so much more in the last couple of months. I think things being slow have been good for him. He's my deep thinker. He's my, you know, you can just tell, like he's gonna be like my wise one when they're older. You can just tell. And so one night he wasn't feeling well, and he and I had a cup of tea after the kids went to bed. I told him he could stay up and have some tea. And the next night he kind of was like, can we have tea tonight? Like whispered, and I was like, okay, he needs a little more time with me, maybe some one-on-one time. But then it became a little tradition where he'll ask me maybe once a week, once every couple of weeks, like, could we have some tea tonight when the kids go to bed? And that's been so sweet. I have so enjoyed that with him. Just some little one-on-one time. Having tea with my boy wouldn't have been the thing I would have planned if I was planning some one-on-one time with us. So that has been a nice, sweet surprise. So I've been enjoying that with Jessie. Let's see. I have finally started investing in and taking more care of my skin. Kind of playing around with some of my makeup a little more than I was before. Just like, I mean, I'm a very like neutral girl, but I do have some like colored eyeshadow. So I've been playing around with stuff a little more, which has been fun. But you know, I'm not like bettering myself or like making great homemade things or learning a new life skill. So it's just funny, like my list is so random. We've loved Sushi Go. That's been fun. It's been a fun game. I have done a little bit of like rejuvenating some of the spaces in our house, and that's been really nice because it's just little touches here and there. A couple of little house plants, a couple of, I got new dining room plates because I like setting plates out on the table and having the table set even when it's not a meal time. And so the ones we had before were busy. So I just got some plain plates and setting those out, just, I love that. It brings me joy. I love having a pretty, you know, table setting even when it's not dinner. Couple little things, like I've rearranged a couple little things, and that has just brought a lot of like life to me and to our home. But those are things I wouldn't have noticed because I enjoy being home, but I'm usually really busy when I'm home because we have to go somewhere. And so while I like being home, I'm kind of focused. I've got a checklist. And so I've never stopped to just, you know, bring a little bit more of like peace into our house. And so those are the few things that I've enjoyed doing. Another thing we've really loved is our family Bible study, and that's something that we started a couple months ago in the evenings. Initially we started doing it after dinner, but now we're doing it when everyone's in pajamas ready for bed. Like the last thing we do as a family, I know it's common to do it first thing in the morning. A lot of people really believe in doing that quiet time first thing, but we've been enjoying it being the last thing that we speak of and think of before we get in bed. Our kids are anxious sleepers. They worry about having nightmares. They worry about things they hear at night, and I mean almost all of our kids are that way. And so this has brought so much peace to our evenings, and I love it. It's also been the time of day that they're most wanting to chat and discuss, and so it's been great having that family Bible time in the evenings. On the same note, we've been watching The Chosen, which we finished it. We're watching through it again. I hope there's a second season of that. That was really good. My kids really enjoyed that show. I've been enjoying more running. I've probably put a couple of more miles on per week than usual, you know, but just by adding in one more run, so another 3 or 4 miles a week than usual. But it's been good for me to enjoy running again, versus just doing it to stay fit. Like this is more of like, I need it for my mental sake, like just to get out and run, listen to some good worship music. And then on the flip side, our family walks are usually kind of like clanky, loud, busy walks. We've got scooters, we've got bikes, we've got trikes, we've got all the stuff. But we have just been against our kids' wishes. They've not enjoyed this as much as John and I have. We've been leaving with, you know, just our shoes, no additional tools for the walk, and just been enjoying a slow, peaceful sunset walk, and I have loved it so much. All of our kids are, no, not all of our kids. John and I have really enjoyed having all of our kids around us and just at a slower pace. I mean, they do run up and down sometimes, but it's just better than the busyness of walking with all of those additional like skateboards and stuff, because you're putting out little fires as that's happening. Usually it's loud, people need assistance, and then you can't just stroll. I've loved the stroll. I've also really liked talking to my sister more often. I love that I have a little more time to do that now. She and I have been talking a lot in the mornings, instead of just at our usual when she gets off work time. And then random, I've been vacuuming a lot. I've like picked up the vacuuming bug, and I am like, instead of spill, I can vacuum it. I don't know, weird things that make me excited right now. So those are the not productive, not super impressive things. Those are my quarantine favorites. What are the things that you guys have been enjoying more? Has any of it caught you by surprise? Did you try any of those trends? How did it work out for you? Were they weird? Were they good? Are you washing your washing machine? Don't tell me if you are, because I feel like I'm not productive enough right now. But let me know, what have you guys enjoyed this month? Give this video a thumbs up if you laughed along with me, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.